Hey guys, in this video we're gonna see the team that were used in the previous beta to clear Cataclysm difficulty threshold mode, so Termaton, DokiDoki and Aurora. As I mentioned in my previous video in the tier list one, I think threshold is gonna be the most important PvE mode because once you can farm module properly, you will have an easier time to farm pretty much anything else in the game in PvE mode, and also gonna be stronger in PvP. So for this reason, I want to show you the team that were used because I didn't see any other content creator showing the team used in the previous beta. I don't know why they didn't. So I will do it, and I will give you like a quick explanation of why they were using this unit, what they do, and stuff like that. As usual, remember to like the video and subscribe if you didn't already, and let's get into it. So, first of all, if you didn't know, this game has a ranking system, like a leaderboard, also for PvE, not only for PvP. And for PvE, I mean the main mode, like Threshold and what's the name of the other one? Like the one where you farm the shell, that right now I don't remember. And so you can see the team that people use, and I think it's useful to see the team used in the previous beta because you can start the new beta and also the official game with an idea of what works and what doesn't, and what people use to end game. And also because in all the video that like the big YouTubers show, they give you like advice and they show team composition and stuff like that, but they already have end game account. Like they have an account which already has like fully ascended and fully leveled up characters and endgame gear, endgame shell, and everything like that. So it's not really the experience you guys will have when you start the game from zero, because unlike them, you will have to farm the module and you will have to farm the shell. So I think the team from the beta are more realistic to what it's really gonna happen in the game. So let's start. Also, another thing is that in this video, we're gonna talk about Cataclysm difficulty, which is the highest difficulty, and it's like very end game module, very end game equipment. You don't necessarily need to farm in Cataclysm. Like you can easily farm in Inferno difficulty, which is gonna have different gear in a way compared to the Cataclysm one, but they're still useful. Like you still need to farm Inferno. So Cataclysm is like super end game. But again, if a team works in Cataclysm difficulty, it's gonna work obviously in every other difficulty. And so we are going to start with this 3 team from rank 2 to rank 4 of Termaton Cataclysm. We're gonna skip the team from Zen. So this guy is gonna be in all 3 of like the threshold team that we're gonna see, and I'm gonna talk about this team at the end because it's a very specific team and kind of like unique team that you don't see other people use in the other mode. And so for this reason, we're gonna start with these 3. So as you can see, everybody in Termaton is using Lian. Lian is the free SSR character that everybody will get when they start the game. So this is very good news for free-to-play and low spender, because you can literally finish this mode at the highest difficulty with a free character that everybody has. And again, this is because it's a DPS, damage dealer. She also have lifesteal, and this is important because as you can see, they don't have much healing in this team. They have Valerian, which has some healing, but she's not. I wouldn't call her a healer. It's kind of like a particular character. So lifesteal, she's a DPS, she's free, and she has attribute advantage against Termaton boss. This is why everybody use Lian as a main DPS in the team. And again, nothing else to say. She's the main DPS of the team. Then we have Grey in this team. And this is another good news for light spender and free to play, because Grey is a free SSR character that everybody will also get just by playing the game early on. And the role of Grey is to buff crit rate of your team. That's the main thing, like the main reason why you want to use him. He has some damage, but I think he got buffed in the previous patch, so I don't know if that damage now is improved, but you don't really use him as a DPS. It's if I remember, everybody was just using him as a buff, as a buffer character. And then everybody here has Chiaki, as you can see. Only this team has Grey, and this team, they use different character to buff, and in this case it's Kloss for both of them, and we're gonna talk about Kloss later, but everybody is using Chiaki here, as you can see. And again, Chiaki, very easy SR character to find, and she's amazing. She's arguably the best SR character in the game. And she can buff the entire team. That's the main reason why you want to use her, and also to keep things going, like with the speed. And yeah, that's the main reason. Like, she's a buffer. She also has a dispel. It's not like a huge dispel thing. It's not the main reason why you want to use her, but she also has a dispel, which is nice. And then we have Valerian. Now, Valerian is a light SR character, so it's not gonna be as easier as them to find, but it's still not gonna be difficult, I would say, to find Valerian in early game. And I think I don't remember where I saw this information, but I think is the character that they will give for free to everybody that spend money for the first time. Like for the first purchase, you're also gonna get Valerian, I think, as a reward. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think I saw it or I read it somewhere. And so yeah, if for light spender, it's also gonna be easier to access to this character. And she's a very particular character. She's like a HP equalizer character. That means it's not really a healing, but she equalizes the HP of everybody in the team. She also give buff with their special condition. Like she literally goes to sleep. I think the buff is like hazy sleep or something it's called, and it's basically gonna give buff that the other character already don't have. And she also has a healing, if I remember correctly, on the skill 2. And it's not the biggest healing of the game. Like, she's not a healer, in my opinion. She's more like a buffer character, with some barrier, with like shield, and some interesting mechanics. She also has invincibility, and I think it's not an easy character to use early game. Like, you will need to understand how her kit work to use her properly in this team, but you just need to read the skill, how they work, and understand when and how to use what. And it's a little bit more difficult to use compared to Chiaki and Gray. Chiaki and Gray are super easy to understand and use. It's very straightforward. Valerian is a little bit more like you will need to get some information and read the skill properly. But once you start to get used to how she works, it's gonna be a good time because she's very good. And it's of course everybody uses her for a reason because she's good. And this is also Valerian, by the way. It's different skin, but it's the same character. So literally everybody in this top 4 ranking is using Valerian. And then we have Heinrich, if I remember the name correctly. I should have checked. I didn't. But this is probably the most difficult character to find out of all these 3 teams because it's a dark SSR character. So you will have to be very lucky to find him unless you're a whale. And this character is literally a monster. Like, you can put him into every team and it's gonna work very well because it's gonna improve the damage of your DPS, of the entire team overall, but of course you want to improve the damage of your DPS. And it works even better in this team because they have Grey, and the thing is, Heinrich improve the crit rate and crit damage on specific target. And if you pair him up with Grey, which also improve crit rate, it's gonna be a very good synergy because then your DPS is gonna do a lot of damage. And also Heinrich does a lot of stuff, like a lot of debuff. He has block, which means that the character cannot get buff. I think he has a debuff, and no, sorry, not debuff. He has also a block for the healing. So it's a very good character for both PvE and PvP. Obviously, that's why he's a dark SSR, and it's very good for Termaton because he does a very good job in this mode. Because you have, like, in this case, you will focus the damage on the boss. You have to kill the ad on the left in case you don't have enough damage to clear the mode, like to clear the battle very fast. But even then, with him, it's gonna make the run much easier because you're gonna deal so much more damage to the boss. And so of course, it's the faster you finish, the better, because you want to get 3-star. All these people have 3-star, and maybe you don't know, some of you that didn't play the game already don't know, but based on how many stars you have, you're gonna have more attempt to do during the automated battle. For example, I don't remember the exact amount, but it's something like if you only clear with 1 star, you're gonna have like 5 attempt to do in automatic mode. If you clear with 2 star, you're gonna have like 8, and if you clear with 3 star, you're gonna have like 10. So of course you wanna get 3 stars so you can maximize the amount of time that the game can play AFK while you do other stuff. It's gonna be in the background. And yeah, so it's very good character to have. If you reroll, definitely I would say go for Heinrich or for Lily. And then let's see the other 2 teams. So Valerian, we already talked about it. So then we have Chiaki, Heinrich, and this one is Kloss. Kloss, again, it's a debuff character, speed up character that is gonna make the run faster for you. And also it's going to improve the damage that your DPS can deal. So obviously it's very great for PvE content. Or probably any mode, I would say. And this team, it's literally the same as the one on the top, so nothing else to add here. So as you can see, this is the main team that people use. Like Lian as damage dealer, Grey as buff for the buff, Chiaki also for the buff, Heinrich for the debuff, and just for improving the damage overall. And then you have Valerian, which kind of acts as a healer, shielder, and also can give invincibility. She can do... It's very flexible character. You just need to learn how to use her properly, like with the timing, but very good. And then we also have Kloss, which is to make things faster for your team and slow down the enemy team. Then we're gonna move to DokiDoki. Again, this DokiDoki Cataclysm difficulty. We have the same guy as before. We're not gonna talk about this team. We're gonna talk about this team when we move to Aurora in Cataclysm difficulty. And now the first two teams are the one that I would say are the most interesting. This one is a little bit more particular, and we're gonna see why now. So first of all three of this team have a healer, which is Sanya. Sanya is a very, very good SR healer, and she works especially well paired up with Tiamat, in my opinion. And as you can see, everybody was using Tiamat. Tiamat, in this case, she's a nuke. She's a nuker. Because the thing is, Tiamat, in the normal form, she can provide shield, she can provide healing, she can provide taunt, so it's like a tank character, because also you build her with on HP. But the thing is, when she transforms into the dragon form, she become a nuker. And the thing is, they probably all paired up Lily with Tiamat for the extra attack when she's in dragon form, and that's it. Like, Tiamat is the nuker. Then we have Sanya as the healer, and she can also resurrect a character in case things go wrong and you need to resurrect someone. Then we have Lily. Lily is the equivalent of Enrich in the previous mode. Like, Lily is a SSR dark character that you can literally play any mode, and she's gonna provide a lot of value. She's so useful. She has very, very good buff, and she just make the run smoother, I would say. And then we have, the first one is Lilith. So basically, like the first team has Lilith. This one is gonna have more straight up damage, because Lilith scale the damage on her percentage of HP. So this one, I would say, it's a more aggressive team with more damage from Tiamat and Lilith. And this one is a more stable team, because yes, they use Tiamat as a nuker, but they also have Dark Sanya, which is Dark SSR, and Obol, which is SR, and they both provide damage over time, so DOT. And yeah, and then this one also manipulate the time, like, how can I say, like, timing better with both Kloss and Lilith, because Lilith can stun, also Obol can stun, but Lilith is overall, I would say, she get more extra turn, so it's a little bit more complicated to use compared to Obol, in my opinion, but she does a very, very good job at controlling. And then also, of course, Kloss is very good for control, as we mentioned before, with her kit, and also improve the damage of your DPS. Then this one, again, Lily and Tiamat and Sanya, and then instead of damage and control, like the first one has, they have damage over time, which also works very well in this mode. Damage over time overall works well in both campaign and threshold, and also for shell farming, of course. I would say it's very good for PvE. It's not that good for PvP. Like, if you find a Dark Sanya in arena, you're gonna be happy because it's not a threat. But PvE, she's a monster. She's absolutely very, very strong. And Obol is the cheap version, like, it's the cheap version of Dark Sanya. And if you put the two of them together, they become like super, super good. They have very, very good synergy because they both do the same thing. And then we can move on to the last one. I didn't want to focus too much on this one because this one has, first of all, it's again Lily, Sanya, and Tiamat. They have all three very good synergy with each other. But then this one doesn't have much control. I mean, you have a little bit of control with Chiaki, but again, it's not a control character like I would say is Lilith and Kloss. And also they have like a buffer, like Grey. So I would say this one focus much more on the damage from Tiamat. Like, the entire team is to just sustain Tiamat as much as possible and make her deal as much damage as possible while keep things going as fast as possible. The thing is, in this specific threshold, you want to have someone that deal some kind of CC. It doesn't necessarily need to be stun. Like, in this case, the first two team have stun from Lilith and stun from Obol. You can just use character that also have sleep, for example, or that have like Kazui the Revier. I forgot the name. It's I will put it when I edit the video. Or there is another character, it's Kraken, that also have CC, which works in a different way from Obol and Lilith, because it's not a stun, but it's a freeze. But again, you just want a CC character, and this team doesn't have any CC character. I think it's a little bit more dangerous to have a team like this, where you just focus straight up on damage. But again, as you can see, he managed to clear the DokiDoki Cataclysm anyway with 2 minutes and 44 seconds, so it's obviously worked very well for him, especially considering these characters are not even maxed out. Like, that's also very interesting. I think the Tiamat he had was an absolute monster to pull this off. And then we are gonna move. Also, please consider that Tiamat has the correct attribute for this run. Like in this case, you cannot use Lian because the monster are water. So this one, Tiamat is gonna be neutral, and Lian would have a difficult time because she's like the red one. I call it fire. It's not called fire in this game, but you get what I mean. Like the blue one is strong against the red one. So of course you cannot use Lian in this mode. You're gonna need a different attribute DPS for the damage. Then we're gonna move to Aurora, and this time we're also gonna analyze the team from Zen. And Zen has a crazy team. Like his entire team is focused on damage over time because all three of these characters do the same thing, which is damage over time. Then he has Lily as a supporting character for all of them, and then Valerian for the shield, a little bit of healing, more like the equalizing one, and invincibility. So it's, and also the buff. This is very important to remember. Also the buff from Valerian is not something that people should forget. And this is a very, very particular team. As you can see, he managed to clear every mode in Cataclysm difficulty. This one was under a minute, which is crazy. He must have done so much damage. Like his damage must be insane. This one is 2 minutes and 50, and this one is 50 seconds. So it's crazy, crazy good team. And yeah, it's the thing is you might see this team and think, oh, of course I want to do this team, but the thing you have to consider is that first of all you use two dark SSR characters, so you're gonna have to be very, very lucky or spend a lot of money to find, especially early game, to find these two characters, Dark Sanya and Lily. It's not gonna be easy. Second thing, you will have, this guy for sure invested a lot into the skill of this character, and they both have the same attribute, so you're gonna have to use the same item to invest into their skill. So again, this is not gonna be easy for free to play and low spender. And also Dark Sanya, like Lily is a character that you can use into literally any mode and she's gonna give you value. Like it's amazing, like arguably one of the best characters in the game. Dark Sanya is mostly good for PvE content and not even for like guild boss. So I would say if you use, like if you want to invest into Dark Sanya, that's fine. She's very good at PvE, but it's not a character like DokiDoki or Lily that you can use anywhere. And if you have a limited amount of resource, maybe it's not the best idea, in my opinion, to go for Dark Sanya early on in the game. Maybe mid part of the game or end game, when you have more resource and you've built up more character also for PvP, you can also go for Dark Sanya at that point if you want or if you need. But overall, I wouldn't advise free-to-play and low spender to go for Dark Sanya. That's just my take on this character. Because out of all the SSR light and dark character, I would say she's the least useful if we think about how flexible she is. But again, that's my take. If you like the character, or if you just want to play a damage over time team, absolutely go for Dark Sanya. It's obviously a good choice in that case. And then yes, like this team is just pure damage over time. It works very well in Threshold, and I don't think I have to add anything else. Like look at the time, 0:59, and the second guy is like 7 minutes. So it's again, I don't think I have to explain anything else here. Then we have this two team. Now, I would say the team we can look at the most is the second one, and because the third one it took 20 minutes. It took him 20 minutes. Again, it's still great that he managed to kill Aurora at Cataclysm difficulty. Consider that we had like what? The previous beta was less than 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, I don't remember, but they didn't have that much time, so it's impressive that they managed to beat Aurora at Cataclysm difficulty. And okay, this team, it's the first part is similar to DokiDoki team, so they have Lily and Tiamat. Then we have Viper. Viper has the same role as Veronica in this case, which is to take out the buff from the enemy, so to dispel. I would say between the two, it's obviously is the cheaper choice, Viper, and it works very, very well with Lily also. So if you're a low spender and or free to play, absolutely I would say go for Viper instead of Veronica. And then we have both team have Elkid, and the reason is because Elkid is like the stun and the shield, the barrier. It's even if it got nerfed now, it's still gonna be very, very good for this run, for this mode. And then they have Linglo for healing, obviously, and also for immunity. And so yeah, this team because he can clear super fast. He doesn't need like a very healing focused character like Linglo, and he just use Valerian. This guy, because obviously it takes much longer, they need more sustain, so of course they had to use Linglo. And this one also have Valerian. The problem with this team, and the reason why it took so long, is because it doesn't have any DPS. This one has Tiamat, this one has damage over time, and these three characters all have damage over time. So for this kind of team, you could consider them the DPS, even if it's not the correct term. But this team doesn't have any damage dealer. Like, you could use Elkid as a damage healer, but is not a damage dealer. And again, Veronica is not a damage dealer. You could use her for the damage, but it's not the best choice. This is why it took him so long, because he could survive. He had the barrier from Hellkid, he has the barrier from Valerian, he has the healing from Valerian, he has the healing from Linglo, so he has a lot of sustain, but he has no damage. He has DokiDoki to speed up his team and reduce the cooldown and everything, and then he has Veronica to steal the buff from the enemy team and give it to his member, like through the other character from his team, but there was no consistent damage. That's why it took so long. Oh my god, it must have been terrible to do, like to play for 20 minutes straight at Cataclysm difficulty. But yeah, these are the team that people use in the previous beta, so now you have an idea of what works for other people that start from zero, start a new account, and manage to go from there up to Cataclysm difficulty. I hope it was useful for you guys. Thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.